39-year-old Maya Millete just seemingly disappeared from her Chula Vista home in California at some point during the week of January 7th, 2021. Husband Larry says Maya went missing on Friday, January 8th, although he claims he only heard her making food at some point that day and actually failed to physically see her. Larry claims he hadn't actually seen his high school sweetheart and wife of 21 years since Thursday, January 7th. Larry claims they had gotten into an argument. He also claims this is when Maya might have gone for a run to blow off some steam. She is yet to be seen again. So what really happened to Maya? Let's find out.
The following RedRum media episode may contain facts, opinions, and other details, such as images and videos, one may find disturbing. This information is for entertainment and education purposes only. It is not to be used as legal advice or to accuse any party involved. Viewer discretion is advised. Maya and Larry met at Radford High School in Hawaii, not far from Pearl Harbor. They got married shortly after leaving their high school days behind, and eventually moved to sunny California. Now, fast forward to present day, and whoa.
Larry appears to not even notice anything different Thursday night into Friday, even though he hasn't seen Maya. The last time anyone had officially seen Maya, well, the kids were said to have seen her that day. The last time anyone had an official time of speaking with Maya, or who they thought might have been Maya, was on Thursday as well, that evening at 7:52 p.m. May, or at least May's phone, sent a message to a group chat of friends through Facebook. Larry seems to go on about his Thursday evening as normal, as one could say, I guess. But then things seem to get interesting on Friday. You know, the day Larry swears he heard Maya, but that he just didn't see her, right? Also, just a side note here, I've seen their home and many pictures and videos of it. Yes, it is a very large, beautiful home with 2 staircases going upstairs, but they meet in the middle up top. And in my personal opinion, it's just not even close to being big enough to go so long without seeing the mother of your children, especially the young 4-year-old. The 9 and the 11-year-old, it's a little bit different. They're a little bit older, doing their own thing. But the 4-year-old, it's just so strange. And also, let me remind you again, the youngest is 4. It's even been said that the youngest may sleep with his mother almost every night. So if that's true, then what happened that Thursday night? Did he just all of a sudden sleep by himself? Or with Larry? I'd love to know the explanation from him not seeing her for that long. Especially getting your kids fed, getting them into bed, and just making sure that they're up in the morning, brushing their teeth. You know, they get their dinner, their breakfast, their lunch, all of it. Well, none of this just makes sense, but that's what we're being told. Now, we get to Friday. Larry is said to have woken up early to take their 4-year-old son to Solano Beach. Doesn't make any sense either because there are plenty of beaches that are closer than that one. But whatever, we'll continue. They were said to have left sometime around 6:30 a.m. He returned home sometime around 5 p.m. Friday evening, give or take a few minutes or so, per all accounts we've heard. During the time Larry was gone, he allegedly left the 2 other children at home to do their virtual school for the day. Okay, well, while that makes sense, the following definitely rubs me the wrong way. We recently found out that Larry powered off his phone and left it at home during this trip. What I'm understanding is that these 2 children, ages 9 and 11, had 0 way to contact either parent. As one was missing, he could have been doing this to, let's state the obvious here, leave any cell phone tracking and GPS tracking at home. I'd also love to know if the little boy had a tablet with him, because my son loves his tablet. And even if he didn't have a tablet with him, maybe there was some other device that he had with him. Or they have pretty nice cars. Can you imagine being a 4-year-old in a vehicle and running errands? Or hell, just going to the beach. I mean, this drive was a while. It wasn't a beach that was right around the corner like some of the other beaches close to them. Wouldn't they need something to keep him occupied at least for some of that time? I mean, some snacks, food. He's gonna need to use the restroom multiple times, right? Well, Larry must not have cared much about these things, or he tried to avoid them altogether. He had to have known he'd be caught on some sort of CCTV somewhere, which I'm thinking PD likely has. We just haven't seen anything. It's very likely that there's some sort of GPS on board of one of those vehicles that could have been accessed. Even if that vehicle didn't necessarily have all of their tracking capabilities or services turned on at the time. It just completely depends. What I'm getting at here are all the possibilities for something, somewhere, to track the movements of this man and their son.
We were just recently told a little bit more about how Thursday and Friday played out. According to family, May seemingly disappeared mid-planning, the day before their Big Bear birthday trip. It was especially concerning when May stopped all communication in the family group chat for those family members going with them for their trip. May wouldn't miss this trip for the world. So after trying to reach out to May directly with no success, they started calling the home phone. You know, those old school landlines, ha ha ha. After numerous unanswered attempts, May's family started to take matters into their own hands. Family members then started to come over to the house throughout the day after making numerous attempts to reach the family in numerous ways. But even when the family knocked on the door, the older girls, ages 9 and 11, ignored the door and never came to see who was talking. This obviously caused major concerns.
Sometime around the time Larry and this child got home, Maya's brother came over to the house to check on Maya. The brother is said to have knocked on the door only to determine it's locked and that he couldn't get in. Saturday, January 9th, Maya's father shows up to the family home. At this point, Larry seemingly finds the key to Maya's bedroom door and lets the father in. Maya is nowhere to be found. After realizing they were unable to reach Maya, they remained concerned about her whereabouts. But that fear really started to set in when Maya missed her older child's birthday. The family had been planning on a trip to Big Bear for a birthday celebration, but Maya was a no-show. At about 1 a.m. Sunday, January 10th, Maya was officially reported missing, and the investigation into Maya's disappearance started immediately. Since Maya was initially reported missing, many searches have been conducted by police, in addition to locals, family and friends, and so many more. Some who know and love Maya, and some who don't even know her at all. According to Larry, the couple started to have problems about a year or so ago, and at some point, they had even started to decide that they were going to live separate lives in separate areas of the same home. This new living arrangement consisted of separate bedrooms, agendas, and schedules, all while seemingly allowing them to co-parent together. Even though things weren't going the best in their relationship, it appears Maya was just trying to make the best for life. And Maya may have even been trying to pursue a new start going forward.
She seemed to be enjoying her job as a contract specialist with the Department of Defense. She started to exercise more and documented things such as the route she jogged on her public Facebook posts. This has led us to wonder if there really was an argument Thursday evening, one where May took off for a jog. Could someone have been following her based on her prior documented locations? It's possible, but highly unlikely, all things considering. But I digress. She also loves to sing and play the guitar, and she always made sure to set aside time to volunteer at her children's school events. May also decided to do something for herself this time.
She finally bought the vehicle of her dreams. Her black Jeep Wrangler was something that she had wanted for so long. One family member also said she had recently just purchased a dirt bike. Maya seems to have been grabbing this new lifestyle by the balls and enjoying the absolute hell out of it while she could. Even though the family was going through some problems, they still went on to spend New Year's Eve together at the Glamis Sand Dunes. Although some say Maya kept getting upset with Larry for taking her Jeep for hours at a time without her during this very trip. Some online sleuthers wonder if he was scouting out a location for evidence or if he might have been actually cheating on Maya. For all we know, he could have just really been fully taking advantage of the ability to clearly upset her in this moment as well. At this point, we just can't be too sure. According to Richard, the brother-in-law of Maya, this area has also recently become a possible location of interest in searching for Maya, A tip allegedly came in recently that Maya might have been seen last in Glamis sometime on January 7th. Maya's story has even brought thousands of people together in a Facebook group called Missing Maya Millete Discussion and Theories. This group has become a centralized location for those who want to help find Maya, to discuss theories, local tips, insight, and more through your traditional posts and comments, and some in your not so traditional ways. I'll call these sleuthing Zoom calls. Yes, you heard that right. They hold these Zoom calls almost every single night. All kinds of people join in, from family members to friends, former law enforcement, investigators, lawyers, and more, all with one common goal in mind: to help find Maya. Luckily, I have had firsthand experience in these Zoom calls, in addition to taking part in the discussion. If you have any interest in helping find Maya, I highly encourage you to check this group out. I've been in many true crime groups before, but I've never been in one that genuinely cares so very much about someone most of us have never even met. A couple weeks ago, we had the opportunity to speak with Mary Chris, one of Maya's siblings. The family has been left with so many questions and so very few answers, and absolutely no sign of their loved one anywhere. Even as we pass 1 month of her being missing, her family still refuses to give up. They continue to host searches, conduct interviews, and more as they move forward in trying to seek answers in her disappearance. It's abundantly clear most of her family is still desperately searching for their loved one and any tips that may bring her home. They also just recently held a press conference with the local police department and a silent rally to try and generate tips and spread the word. Luckily, Mary Chris understands just how important it is to get out and to keep her sister's name and face in the public eye. With that being said, if you have any information on the whereabouts of Maya or those involved in the disappearance, please contact the proper authorities. Check the description box down below for more information, including a link to her family's Facebook page for Maya and the group I mentioned above. Leave us a comment below and let us know what you think happened to Maya. Do you think she just ran away like some do? I don't think it's possible, but that's what some are thinking. Or do you feel something more sinister happened to her, like I do? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please also help us get the word out about Maya's disappearance by sharing this video on all your favorite social media platforms, and don't forget to share it with all of your friends and family. We so greatly appreciate it. We will continue to follow this story for updates and provide follow-ups as seen fit. Until next time, we'll see y'all later.